Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Josh here, only me from the Courtside Soundoff podcast here today. And this is kind of a forward for the special episode. As you guys know, we announced that we went to the Big 3 in Kansas City. We got media credentials, and while there, we were courtside, so to speak. Took some photos, met some players, were saw some pretty cool people. Saw three excellent games. Well, two excellent games. One was kind of a blowout, the first one between Three's Company and Bovak. But then Power and Triplets put on a great game, and Three-Headed Monsters had a great game as well in the final game. So, yeah, it was a really fun day. Really fun to see a lot of guys such as Amari Stoudemire, Joe Johnson, Kadino Mobley, again. Um, Anyways, so to get to the point, I guess, we recorded clips throughout, in addition to recording the pressers. And so this is going to be kind of a weird one where there's going to be the pressers. I'm going to splice in with, like, my own thoughts and wrap it up at the end, but also have clips of me and Angel talking during the event. We recorded a couple of clips of just us talking about our thoughts at that point, thoughts so far, and stuff like that. So if you guys like this, I hope it comes out as good as I think it will. I understand this is kind of a weird episode. It's not really much of an episode. It's kind of just a fun little thing, but I think it is kind of cool for the 20th edition of the Courtside Soundoff podcast, talking about the first time we did anything press related. First time that he did anything press related. As you guys know, I go to MMA events for media a lot. So, but even then, this is way out of my element. I don't really do stuff like basketball or big media events. And it was really, really weird to see guys like people from the Kansas City Star, people from 41 Action News, Fox 4, and then there was the Courtside Soundoff podcast and me and Angel. So it was a lot of fun, and I'll wrap it up at the end. But this is gonna be a shorter one, so I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys just want to skip the player stuff, you can skip that, or you can skip to whatever points throughout the podcast. But thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy. Here is Courtside goes to the Big 3. All right, Josh and Angel sitting in the media room closed ourselves into a room real quick within the media room. We just got into the Big 3. Angel, what are your thoughts about almost getting stopped by security and being told to turn around because we have backpacks?
I was absolutely heartbroken. I thought it was the end of the world, and I was about to do something really bad.
Do something really bad. A very bad thing until he mentioned that we have media credentials. We're in the media room. They showed us around, and we're just kind of feeling it out, and we'll bring you some more stuff throughout the day. Hey guys, present day Josh here again, and I wanted to mention something to elaborate real quick. We were first getting into the media room at that point, and we had nearly got stopped by security. To explain the story real quick, we go through, there was not a media entrance, we just went through normally like everybody else, but they did have a media booth off to the side, and we showed the lady our email, the one that the ticket one, and she's like, alright, just go through here real quick. And by the way, this lady must have overheard the conversation because the security woman was standing right next to her, and then went through and was like, yeah, you can't bring that in here, you're gonna have to turn around, go back to the car, whatever. Because I had a backpack on me because I had, my laptop and my camera and stuff like that, and a notebook and all that stuff. And I was like, what? Why can I not? It's like we started getting into an argument with him, and at some point, Angel mentioned that we were media because we literally mentioned to the lady that was standing right there who was whatever, and she was like, man. And then some other guy came over and started talking. They're like, oh, okay, well, you should have said that sooner. It's like, well, we did say it to that lady right there. She's like, you didn't open up your mouth. Some black lady. She's like, you didn't open up your mouth. And it's like, well, I mean, you were right there. We just said it. You were standing right, whatever. Anyway, so nearly got stopped. We made it through, got our credentials, and by credentials, they gave us a sticker. Something that's never happened to me before. I've never gotten a sticker with the word media written on it. I've always gotten a lanyard or something cool. I think the sticker looks cool. It's still like the Big 3 kind of thing. It's a yellow big thing. with media written on it, and it has like the CBS logo and stuff like that. I think it looks pretty cool. But here's some more clips throughout the day. I'll let you guys get back to that. But I am going to keep on splicing in to give you more context and stuff like that throughout this, because if not, this will just be a big cluster of absolutely nothing. Big 3 analysis. Just saw Ice Cube. He smelled really nice. Just walked right by us. Standing on the court, so if this audio is unusable, it's probably because there's music blasting. Thanks. In case you're curious, that will not be the last time on this episode that you're going to hear music and barely be able to hear me talk. So just enjoy these few moments of being able to hear us clearly. But that was before Bovak and Three's Company, and we were on the court for that one. We were by baseline by a couple of photographers during the shoot around. Saw some guys like Amari Stoudemire, Rashard Lewis, some really cool dudes. Never really realized just how damn tall they are in real life. Speaking of really tall, Ice Cube's really short. He's slightly taller than Angel. Just found that out, and Angel's not the tallest guy. So I'm taller than Ice Cube, so there's your fact of the day. Courtside Soundoff here. Still, actually this time we are currently in I don't even know what you'd call this room. They have food here. And game 1 is about to start. It's going to be Three's Company versus Bovak. Probably mispronounced that. But we have plans for everything. We're going to bring you guys all the stuff about, interviews and presser stuff. So, that'll be cool. Angel, what has been your experience so far?
Very, very lost. I've never done anything like this before. I am still very lost, but at least I'm having a sandwich to make me feel better. So
we are having sandwiches. They catered in food. This is really, really weird because I've never been to a media thing that has food for me, and Angel and I are having a sandwich. So there you go. We haven't met Michael Rappaport yet. We'll keep you guys posted on that one. If we meet Michael Rappaport, we'll call him some names and have it on the podcast. So. Not long after this, we met one of the first media guys there, 2 media guys there to kind of tell us what's up, give us access to certain things. We met one of them. He started talking to us about how the cookies are. They were better in Brooklyn, and how the cookies here in KC kind of sucked because all we got is raisin. So there's your thing. They were pretty cool dudes. The media room was weird. They had a bunch of TVs around. That's actually where we watched game 1. Just because it was nearby the presser room, and we were going to figure out how long it would take to kind of, because games 2 and 3 were going to go out to the court or whatever and watch them there, or at least back to the stands anyway, and we're going to figure out how long it took for the players to get there and kind of have a base idea and be by the press room just in case they get there super quickly. And that's where we spent game 1 watching Bovak and Three's Company. And actually, that's what you guys are about to hear now. The post-game presser with Three's Company. Three's Company got the win, 50-34. A couple of guys there. Drew Gooden and Andre Emmett, most notably Andre, put up a really good stat line that day. So we talked to him, talked to Drew Gooden because Drew Gooden played for KU, and he goes in to talk about the barbecue here in KC and him coming back home, so to speak. So here is that post game press conference with Three's Company and the crew and that team.
We don't have room to hear right now, so I think our antennas are definitely up. We added Dante Jones, who's a big part of what we did last year, and he's definitely stepped in and helped us with an extra body and having an extra guy in these games.
Drew, talk about these fans that you haven't been playing in front of for years now.
It's a blessing, man. Not only be here in the 1900s playing basketball, but also coming 20 years later, and people are still watching me play basketball. I mean, it's a blessing, first of all. And I don't know why they're still paying to watch me play, but it's something that's fascinating to me that I'm still able to do that.
How did it feel to have Coach and all the fans, all the Jayhawkers in the stands? I mean, having Coach right there on the right first row, had to feel good. It
was great. I got a chance to catch up with Bill Self last week in Las Vegas on the Summer League, so it was good to reconnect with him again this week. He didn't coach me. Roy Williams coached me.
Oh, that's right.
For him to show up and show support to guys that he didn't even coach. They just went to Kansas. It says a lot about Bill Self.
Drew, you can get me barbecue while you're here. Do you have like a favorite barbecue?
Q39. It used to be Gates, man. Gates falling off.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm saying it out loud right now. I hope it gets out there. Gates is falling off right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to say it. I'm the first one. This is not a Yelp review. This is a Drew. This is a Drew review right now. Gates need to step the game up, but I'm at Q39 right now.
Drew, now that you're a commentator, are you commentating these games in your head to yourself?
Not really. It's funny that you say that. Watching the game as a sports analyst, you kind of see the game at a different level, a different pace. But once I step on the court playing, it's more of I think it's just more of a player's eye. I'm taking an analyst out of that. I'm just going straight as playing the game as a professional, not as an analyst on the court.
You got a catchphrase picked out, like boom goes the dynamite, anything cool like that? Yeah.
Put the round thing in the round thing.
How do you follow that up?
What's that? Oh, you guys still looking for stats? Yeah, we're gonna initiate that.
So the printer's not working, so if you do want stats, he's running them to me and I'm going to snap a picture and I'll text it to you. We'll go.
But in the interim, please keep going.
Yeah, please continue asking. Anyone have any questions for Andre or Jason?
I do. A question for Andre. You kind of quietly have had a really, really solid season so far. When you're hitting and you're performing as an individual, but the team might not be getting the results that you guys want, how does that play on your psyche, or does it at all?
Yes, because I know that I can't win a game, so we need a total team effort. In these last 2 weeks, everybody stepped it up. With effort. Our effort is up. Now we're hitting more shots. Like Drew said, we have Tay, which he brings a good morale. Like I said, it's team all day. The only time we win is when we all play good.
And sometimes it just takes getting that first win to get everybody in stride. What are you guys focusing on to finish out the season? Outside of winning.
It's a rather short season, so every week is important. So approaching each week with the draw-tie record, with the same intensity, same focus, same effort, and take week by week and try to squeeze our way in the playoffs.
Y'all got to ask Max a question, man. Did y'all see what he was doing out there to them guys?
I saw you playing some bully ball today. Like, what's up with that?
That's all I can do right now.
Your Wheaties this morning?
It's them jumping days over with, so they beat him up down low.
If you guys could see Max's son, how old is his son? 7 years old. He's about 5'10". So, yeah. You think Max is low? I think his son is well on his way.
A really good win and a fun press conference by Three's company there. And now the next clip you're going to hear is sadly the last one, because me and Angel both had storage issues on our phones because we were recording and taking so much video. And it's us talking about Triplets and Power's game. Obviously, Triplets going in, they were undefeated. Power was 3-1. Triplets are 4-0. Triplets notoriously Lisa Leslie has coach Joe Johnson, Al Jefferson, Chris Johnson, a couple of really good guys there. Power with Nancy Lieberman, Cognito Mobley, Corey Maggette, Big Baby Davis, Chris Anderson, Julian Wright, who you're going to hear from. And I should say real quick, all of the post-game interviews are going to go onto our YouTube channel to watch them if you want to see the video and hear from, Julian Wright, Cognito Mobley, Corey Maggette, and Nancy Lieberman. You're going to hear all that on in this podcast in a few minutes, but also you're going to be able to watch the video once Angel sends me those damn emails. So I could put them up on the YouTube channel. So here's me, Angel, talking about mid-game Triplets and Power. All right, Angel, we're nearing the end of Power and Triplets. Great game so far. Power got a big lead, Triplets coming back. Who do you have winning this game at the end?
I'm going to be ballsy and pick Power.
Gonna pick Power. I'm going to go with Joe Johnson and Triplets. Score is currently 37-34. We'll see what happens. for the record, Power would go on to win that game. This is an amazing game. If you haven't watched it, you should. Power jumped out to a super big lead early, 19-6. Codino Mobley and Corey Maggette were going off. And then Triplets came back. Joe Johnson started getting his, game together, and Al Jefferson, they all started playing really, really well. Very physical game, down low, and Joe Johnson was not shooting as well as he previously did in the start of the season. He's definitely going to be the Big 3's MVP this year, but it wasn't enough, and he was not able to lead them to a comeback. But now you can hear from Power. Like I said earlier, Nancy Lieberman, Corey Maggette, Codino Mobley, and Julian Wright, who was just recently signed to the team. Here is that long interview. It's close to 20 minutes, so if you just want to skip 20 minutes in advance to hear me talk again, you can do that, or you can just sit and listen to the team that is Power, one of the title favorites in the Big 3 this year.
Let me just say this. These guys are champions on and off court. I start every press conference. We're blessed to have this team and to have these two young men, the MVP, and this is like Einstein with the basketball right here. It is a joy and a pleasure. The Triplets are a really good team.
Really good.
They're very talented.
Really good team.
These guys they study film, they take in game planning, and then they just know how to play the game when the game's on the line. And all season long, they're playing hurt, and they're just digging deep. So I'm appreciative.
I just want to say one thing before any questions start to kind of diffuse all this. We're not really worried about who's 4-0, 5-0, who's playing first. It's who's going to get there to the finals. That's it, right? You don't win the championship in the 5th game of the season. And yeah, we're excited because Corey has a banged up hamstring and I have a banged up, calf injury that I came back early on. And, Corey being MVP and us having a team that we have, it's not about Triplets, it's not about, three-headed monsters, it's just about us. And like Coach said, the Triplets are amazing. They're a great team. Joe Johnson just was in the NBA 2 years ago. I mean, he's still in his 30s. So, I love Joe. I've always been a fan of Joe. And, he has a great cast around with Allen Anderson and those guys. But, like I said before this game in the locker room, it's not about anyone else. It's just about what we do as Power and Nancy Lieberman leading us. And, having Corey Maggette is, for me, it helps me sleep better at night.
You said that you guys don't win week 5, but this obviously felt like a playoff basketball game. Did it feel that way for you guys as well?
Maybe I can answer for hello? Okay. I thought it was, I guess, the atmosphere. If you think about, leading up to this game, the Triplets, and more importantly, you have 2 women coaches, right, who's battling against each other that are both Hall of Famers. That's pretty cool to think about that. And I think for us, since we experienced the championship last season, we thought of this game as a preparation for us to get back to the championship. And these are one of the teams. This team, as well as the enemies, three-headed monsters. But we approached this game like it was any other game. But we really wanted to win. At the end of the day, every guy on the floor wants to win the game, no matter if it's the regular season or going into the postseason as far as the finals.
We also, let me just say something. We wanted to win this game for Chris Anderson.
Yes.
When Corey was out, we wanted to lift him up, even though he couldn't be with us for the 3 games. When Katina went out, that's just how our mentality is. We miss having Birdman with us, but he's here in spirit. But it's not easy. He's the defensive player of the year in this league, and he covers up a lot of our sins. So we miss him, we love him, and we hope that he'll be able to get back after his surgery.
It seemed like their game plan was to be pretty physical with you. Talk about that.
No, listen, I don't want to say nothing too disrespectful.
Please do.
I'm crafty, okay, and it's not trying to be big-headed or nothing like that. I'm only 60%. So whether they crowd me or whether they be physical with me, that's who I am. I love physicality, we have 2 more weeks to rest and get better, and hopefully we'll see them, later on down the line. But it was cute. It was fun. It was fun for me.
Corey, the league cracked down on some of the players that were sitting on the bench for a while, due to maybe not being in shape or injuries and things like that. You came back last week, playing like the MVP you are. Was some of that because of the crackdown, or was it your time to come back? Was this your scheduled time to return?
Actually, it had nothing to do with me whatsoever. Clyde Drexler, as well as Ice Cube, knew the severity of my Achilles. The first year in the Big 3, I tore my Achilles. And so I didn't want to have the same situation happen in Big 3. I think just with our training staff, Tommy Andre, as well as Jazz and Miranda, did a great job of getting me back. And Nancy was basically trying to prep me to maybe play in Atlanta. I felt that I personally wasn't ready, and that following week I felt I was ready to go. I did a lot of work. Like I said, I got to give a lot of credit to our staff getting us back. And as far as the other players, for Jermaine O'Neal, who was a 6-time All-Star, I know Jermaine O'Neal was having health issues with high blood pressure. And so when you got cases like that, you don't want to worry about it. For the other guys, I actually had, I don't know. This was Q coming to them and trying to say, hey, if you guys don't want to play, then we have to move in a different direction. But I think everyone that's been on the floor are really trying to compete, because this is such a blessing to play. I retired early because I blew out my right knee, and I have trained my butt off to play in the Big 3 as well as Coutinho. Our careers was cut short, and so for us, we really take this serious. I mean, it's a blessing for us to be in this position and then play the game of basketball that we love at a high level.
This is the first day that I haven't had vertigo since the first week of the season.
Wow. That's true.
Listen, I'm happy. I'm telling you that one. Forget the calf right now. I'm just happy I ain't dizzy.
Nancy, what does it say about the league that the Big 3 gave female coaches, women coaches, an opportunity to coach the men? And what does it say what sort of message does it send to other leagues, maybe like the NBA, that there should be more women that are able to coach men? You see Carol Lawson going to the Boston Celtics.
Sacramento Kings.
And Lindsay, thank you. There's not enough women out there, but just talk about what the league has done, just kind of piggybacking off what Corey was talking about with you guys being Hall of Fame coaches going against each other.
Well, just the fact that the Big 3 wants this world to be about inclusiveness and give us opportunity. We have to earn the right to be here with these guys. They have had incredible careers. It's our job to be able to be a part of their success. This is a players' league. This is not a coaches' league, even though there's big name coaches. But for the Big 3 leadership to have 2 female head coaches is fantastic. I think other people are seeing this, and you're seeing the acceleration on the NBA side. So I have to give a lot of credit to Adam Silver and the league. I think there's 6 or 8 females now coaching in the NBA. It's no longer just the Nancy and Becky show, okay? That's over. Those days are over. We're getting opportunity. We have to bring added value to our teams and to the players that we're coaching. And we have to continue to learn. I've been around this game as a head coach for almost 25 years. Every practice, every game, I learn. I have a willingness to learn from Corey Maggette. I have a willingness to learn from Coutinho or Baby. I have to grow too, right? They have to grow me in this game as well. But we work well together, and it's a privilege.
In basketball, we talk about strength in numbers. The Big 3 doesn't have that same kind of volume or density. Would either of you or Nancy like to elaborate on just like the close? You've all been a part of special teams. You guys seem like a very close-knit team. Everybody standing up on the bench. It's a 30.
Everybody wants to be around me.
I don't doubt that.
Oh, well, I can elaborate to your statement. When I actually selected all the players on the team, there was a reason why. It was not just all KD was talented. Quentin Richardson, I've been playing with Quentin since in 4th grade. He's from Chicago, from fellow Chicago. I know he had heart, toughness, and grit. Coutinho Mobley, his career was cut short, but I knew that Coutinho Mobley plays like a champion. Even though in the beginning he's never won an NBA championship, his mentality, his pedigree was the way. When I chose Big Baby as well as Birdman, if you look at those two guys, even for the Boston Celtics and for the Miami Heat, they are champions. I really tried to surround our team around championship. And in the beginning, we actually were really trying to follow Big Baby as well as Birdman and Nancy being champions, Hall of Famers. And that really led to the camaraderie of our team. And right away, I said, if we're going to go out to every city, and Kit Coutinho and Nancy can attest to this, you know, we're going to have dinner. You know, we're going to eat together. We're going to go, if you guys don't know me and Coutinho, and Quinn Richardson, every city we go a float tank. We're going to a float tank to make sure about IVs. We do all this stuff as a team. And I think that really, it sinks as far as the way we play, our emotion on the floor. Every single player is pulling for each other on the court, on and off the court. And that's because of what the culture started early. It starts with Nancy. It starts with Nancy first. The way she brought in the attitude, the toughness. Last season, this was in Thousand Oaks at the Mamba Academy, Kobe Bryant's gym. Right away, she came with the mindset, we're going to be champions and we need to be together. And we actually just kind of...
In 1,000 plays.
Nancy, Nancy, your team has a lot of players that can score, you know, and what I've learned playing basketball is when you have a lot of guys that can score, it's tough to have one basketball out there. Do you think that these dinners and these hangout sessions help you guys share the ball?
Yeah, I actually think it does. We have something, we talk about this amongst ourselves. We have something very special. We've all been around the game for many, many years, and we have something very special amongst all of us, and it's not lost on us, and it's our families. We're constantly FaceTiming, we're talking to their kids. I think the first thing I ask the guys most of the time is, how are your kids? You know, what's going on? What are they doing this weekend? The wives, the moms, the grandparents, they're all welcome to be around us. When it's time to get ready, stretch, then it's our time. And we have a thread that we won't share with you, but it's funny. These guys are funny. They're very sarcastic. They're they're in a very loving way. We're all childish, MVP child. But you get something and you're like, okay, that's hysterical. And we're just so close. I mean, we love being around each other.
I mean, that's the key, right? We just love being around each other. So, I mean, you know, I played with Julian in the summer league, and I just watching him play with his energy for us, it was just like, it was an easy pickup. He has the same mindset. He wants to win, and he'll do anything to win. And that's just with the rest of us. You know, I was a 20-point scorer in the league. Corey's a 20-point scorer in the league. But you know, we play well off of each other. Not only because we play together with the Clippers, but we just have high IQs and understand that when another person's going, we just pick it up for the other guy.
And also to test what Coutinho said, Julian Wright has been like a great godsend for our team. You know, we had two players that went down. He really stepped up to the plate. And honestly, that's a test to Coutinho Mobley. I called Coutinho Mobley about Julian. The only reason I know about Julian, we had the same agent when we were in the NBA. And I knew that he was a high energy guy that plays with a lot of passion. And we felt that he could fit our team. And so as soon as I sent Coutinho the name, he knew exactly. He pulled out all his stats, exactly what he can do for our team. Yes, we're going to get him right away. And it just shows he truly fits with our team. It's a reason. You know, we just don't pick guys just to pick them. We really dissect on the reason why we're picking players. And it's truly a blessing, Julian, man, that you're part of our team and taking the time to eat from your family. Because that's, you know, our families is more important. We
Very
truly
important.
appreciate that.
Corey's the calm one, and I'm the one to cuss everybody out. So you know, Julian takes my cussing out just like Baby and everybody else. They know I love them. If I don't cuss you out, that mean I don't care about you.
Speaking of Julian, any questions?
Julian, what does it feel to be back in the area that you played college basketball in, and you see these guys, Bill Self, Roy Williams around, and I know you've been in Kansas City quite a bit, and you're not too far in Lawrence. But just kind of talk about what this feels like being in this area and getting the love.
And it just brings back a lot of memories. First, I want to say you guys are too kind. Just like I said, just them bringing me on board. I just want to do little things to help them win. But back to what you're saying, I just got a chance to talk to Coach Self, Coach Townsend. He's now coach now, but he was my teammate Jeremy K. So we all put some years on us. But it was just great to see familiar faces. And I try to go out to Lawrence before I hit the road, just let my family see the campus and everything. So just so they can see it, a big story program. But I was here on business, so I was happy to help the team. Get the win against a tough Triplets team. It was 4-0 at the Fort Hall game.
Julian, can you talk a little bit about your road to the Big 3?
Like I said, I went to the draft combine, and I think I did well. I didn't get picked up, so I kind of joke about it. I went back to the couch, but I was still in the gym.
Hey man, we didn't have a pick, bro. We just wanted you to know.
I know. Actually, a story. Corey said after the draft, he said, "Welcome to the Big 3." I said, "Well, I gotta get drafted first." So I remember what he said, and then so I was just it's a blessing just to have done well enough where if somebody came down with injury to go to defending champs, I know I had to really step it up and help the team. But yeah, it's been great. I heard about the Big 3. I heard a lot in detail with James White, who I played with in Italy a couple years ago. So I was already hearing about it. Just to know that I'm able to help the team. It's just a blessing.
You did a track workout prior to reporting to the team. You gonna tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. I was just trying to get in shape quickly, but maybe not too quick. And so my legs were a little off, and I had to rest just to make sure I didn't lead to injuries. So now everything's calmed down, my quads and everything. I've been able to really get my legs under me, and hopefully it's showing out there now.
Corey, you talked a little bit about Joe Johnson.
Can we go right here?
Right. Yeah. What kind of challenge was it guarding Joe Johnson?
What you say? Wait, what?
I was asking, what kind of challenge was it guarding Joe Johnson?
It's a team effort, really. Coach Nancy, she's fiery, just trying to make sure we all understand what I did. One time, I rested and they passed to him, he shot, he luckily missed it. But we just know we have to try to make it tough and make shots. He's the guy who's going to take many shots. He's comfortable. He's been doing this for decades. So I just try to help, choose my length and try to make it tough. And I think he saw me crowding it, so it wasn't like he was just one-on-one. So that really helped.
That's kind of my question. Is Joe Johnson the toughest cover in the league? I know there's a lot of tough ones, but
Corey Maggette is.
I think Joe Johnson is.
Outside of your team, is he probably one of the toughest?
I believe Joe Johnson is the toughest player.
He was the toughest in the league.
He was tough in the league.
He's great.
His nickname is ISO Joe because he makes plays. And I remember doing the halftime interview. Hey, you guys are jumping on him. And I said, hey, listen, we're not worried about the first half. It's more about what happens in the second half with Joe Johnson. That's really where he thrives the best. And you can see right away, he made a lot of big-time buckets. And again, like I told you guys before, he's a 7-time All-Star. And there's a reason he was a 7-time All-Star. And is 2 years removed from the NBA with no injuries. So, when he plays, he's still playing at the highest level as an NBA player. So for us, I've been retired for almost 6 years now. A decade is correct. at least 10. So for us, we really have to get ourselves mentally prepared to battle against Joe Johnson.
Take one more right here.
Speaking of mental preparation, you guys have a bye week, so you get time to rest up and recover. But right after that, you got a mental game against the enemies. They're the biggest trash talkers, not just in person, but on social media. How are you guys going to respond to their posts on Instagram?
We're not worried about all that.
They posted some on Instagram?
They will.
Probably about Wednesday of game week.
It honestly doesn't matter, and I respect everybody on that team. Gilbert Arenas, a former All-Star, played average almost 27 points multiple times in his career. I'm really happy for the kid Royce White, who's really found his identity. He's doing MMA, but he loves the game of basketball, and to get a second shot to be able to play this game at a high level is great. He has a great attitude, and I love that about him. Sorry that Lamar Odom couldn't be, because this was another second chance for Lamar Odom. Who else did that on that team? Craig Smith. Actually, it's funny. Craig Smith, in the beginning, me and Coutinho talked about him early in season 1. He wasn't available to play, and then all of a sudden he's available to play the third year. He's leading the Big 3 in three-point percentage, as well as averaging almost 22 points a game.
I'm gonna say this: we don't do commercials. We respect everybody. And I'm going to say this. I hope they respect us.
They will not.
Okay, we'll see you
It's
then.
okay.
There you guys go, the post-game interview from Power. And like I said, no more clips from me and Angel. Like I said, our phones are dying. However, the post-game interviews will all be up on the channel. That one with Power is already up on the YouTube channel by the time this podcast should be uploaded. And this next one is going to be from Tri-State. Tri-State and Three-Headed Monsters played, and Tri-State, obviously, that was one of the more highlighted games of the day, one of the more look-forward-to ones. In terms of former NBA talent, basically as good as you're going to get. Three-Headed Monsters had Larry Sanders, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who is he's been called by historians, Steph Curry before Steph Curry, major three-point shooter, and actually was forced out of the league due to kneeling during the national anthem. This was 20 years ago because he would not stand for the national anthem, and then he pretty much got kicked out of the league long before Kaepernick did. And, he was a really, really good guy in his prime, and he's still playing now. Really, really good guy there, too. Very good shooter. And then Rashard Lewis, great guy. Reggie Evans, great guy. And Mario Chalmers coming back, former KU player. Obviously won a couple titles with the Big 3 over there in Miami as their starting point guard. Played for the Grizzlies, I think, last season, but now he's with the Big 3 right now. And then Tri-State had Nate Robinson and Mario Stoudemire, who was kind of the main focus of this next press conference due to him talking about wanting to rejoin the NBA and having an open workout where I believe 9 NBA teams actually attended, including the Thunder and the Knicks. Jason Richardman's also a guy, and they're also coached by Dr. J, who's going to talk about his time whenever he was in the NBA of the Kansas City Kings, which I think was really cool if you're a basketball historian. Really be sure to listen to this next interview and this next post-game press conference. I think there's a lot of stuff to like here, especially if you're an NBA fan, because there's a lot of talk about the NBA, former NBA, and stuff like that. So this is the post-game press conference from Tri-State, the winning team. Another great game as well, but here is Mario Stoudemire and Tri-State.
This is my first time in the press room this year. It's been a long time coming. You have 2 big threes, and one I was not present for. Steve Biggs coach team, so I guess he wouldn't just be here. And happy to be here with our horses here. We've kind of struggled this year, but hopefully this is a turning point for us. We got contributions from a lot of places tonight that we hadn't been getting so far this season, and I think that this will be a unifying moment. Of course, Rob hit a big shot for us tonight, but that was set up because of the efforts of Amari and Jason and the other guys. And we missed not having Nate Robinson, so we give him a little shout out. He'll be back with us. We don't play for another 2 weeks, another 13 days before we play again. So that should be helpful. But proud of our guys. Glad we got a win. And thank you for your attention.
You mentioned Nate Robinson not with you, but he still seemed really involved, encouraging, and is helping morale of the team. How much? I mean, it seems like he's making a difference even though he's not playing.
Yeah, I was on the phone with him a couple times during the week. He had a nice ankle injury. I was also with Jermaine O'Neal, and that's the way we are. We've come to like one another, bond with one another, and the losing hurts, but players are always in my heart and on my mind, and it came together really nice for us tonight, and Nate being here was a big factor. I mean, he was up, he was on the refs, which is one of the things he likes to do, and he was on our players, just shouting out different things that he thought would help us get a victory.
Mario, down the stretch, you got pretty physical. You talk about that?
Yeah, playing against Reggie, man, it always been physical. It's been like that throughout the NBA and now in the Big 3, man. It's the same thing. He's a guy that's going to play hard, man. He's going to come out
he know what he brings to the table. You know, he bring out physicality, offensive rebounds. That's his game. And so for us, we had to match that intensity. In the second half, we did that.
Amari, you had a great NBA career, and then to see you in the Big 3, and you're clearly dominant. You're, to me, the best in the league. And now getting some calls from NBA teams. How excited are you to have the opportunity to get back to the NBA?
It's a good moment. You know, you get a chance to enjoy basketball at a high level and compete against players you competed against your whole career, and then also have fun doing it. You know, this is a fun league. Everybody enjoy playing in it. I get a chance to hang out with legends like Coach Dr. J and the guys, the other coaches around this league, and so it's a beautiful moment. And you know, being able to play at a high level still is a blessing. So I'm definitely cherishing the moments.
Julius, you've been with this league since kind of the inception. Can you just talk about the progression of the league and how you see it kind of grow and improve over the past couple of years?
Well, I think you know, going from the original teams, the 8 teams to 12, going from Fox to CBS, and I think the fact that now the cut line for guys coming in is 27 versus 30 with the experience. So the league's gotten better all around. It's younger, faster, quicker. The intensity has not wavered one bit because it was always intense right from day one. You play half-court basketball, you know, as I say to my team all the time, this is like going back to the playground, you know, and you lose, you go home. So you got to try to do as much as you can to try and stay on that court. And in this instance, trying to get to 50 points.
Robert, did you know that was going in? You left your hand?
Yeah, I do. I knew that one was going in. You know, Coach put me in the game to do that. And I knew today I just had to come be aggressive with Nate down and contribute a lot more offensively for sure for the team. And that's what I tried to do from the beginning of the game. And, you know, thankful Coach put me back in to give me a chance to hit that shot. And when we needed that win. We were pushing for the playoffs. So to be out here and play with these guys like Amari, like Jay Rich, the legend, Dr. J, and Nate, and those guys, man, it's a blessing, and glad I could contribute.
You guys know that this is it's a long distance and not a sprint, and so you guys started a little slow. But how important is it for you to take it one game at a time and not think about what you did in the past and not think too far in the future and just go with what you guys have?
We know that. I mean, most of us are veterans, and we know the season. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I think today was a big win for us. Coach Dr. J challenged us. He had the bench players started. He challenged them to bring some energy, be aggressive. I don't think they came out slow. I think they came out really aggressive. They got us some energy from the beginning. Rob hit some shots. C hit some shots. They just played really well in the beginning. And Amari came in and he took over the game. So I think this was a big stepping stone for us going forward. We got a bye week, get some rest, and come back and be ready in Chicago.
Jason, was it your game plan to Mario in the post?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big man league pretty much. Right. And so I think I had a little bit of size advantage on them, try to get them down there, try to have, Reggie come and help and bite, leave Amari open, leave Courtside open. So that was kind of part of the game plan, and it kind of worked a little bit, but, we had it going other ways. Amari was going really well. We had some pick and roll action going on, and it's just a great team win. Everybody contributed to get this win.
For any of you guys, do you think the half-court game is more mental than the full-court game at all?
I think the half-court game definitely takes some strategizing. Half-court, the court is a lot smaller, and so guys are able to help a lot more. But I do think, obviously, with the full court, you have more space in the court. You have a chance to operate. But in the half-court, your court is a lot shorter, and so you have to be able to be creative. You have to think mentally on how to get your baskets and go to your spots where you can score. To half court, you definitely got to be more mentally focused.
There's been some talk about the NBA expanding to cities like Seattle and Kansas City. What can you say about the Kansas City atmosphere, as far as, because I saw you get so hyped after the game was over. What can you say about the Kansas City atmosphere? Yeah, Kansas City is a great town. I enjoyed the last few days being here. I was able to enjoy some great barbecue while I was here. Which barbecue? Well, I went to 2 places. I went to was Jack Stack, and I went to Gates. Okay. Which one was your favorite?
They're both really good.
Good
answer. They both were good. I mean, they got different atmospheres. You know, was it Jack Stacks is more upscale, more sit down kind of vibe, but Gates seemed to be like a more home type of environment where you got the nice speakeasy there with the music, and then you also got the buffet style food. So both of them serve their purpose.
Julius, do you remember any games with the Kansas City Kings? Playing the Kansas
No question.
What are your memories of the Kansas City Kings?
Scott Webben shooting jumpers, Josie Merriweather blocking my shot, Mike Woodson, you know, and being cold every time I got it because it was winter months, and you know we always had I think 2 games here a year. In my early 60 years before the team left, and hey, I brought out my biggest and baddest fur coat. So sweaters underneath. I think I had long johns on, possibly, and came to play. So the team was always competitive because they were good, they were well coached, and you know some of the players were very, very notable. I do remember my days coming through.
Julius, you've been with this league since the beginning. Do you think today was a good example of how competitive the Big 3 can be?
Yeah, I think all of the games, were very competitive. The fans were treated to some special basketball, and as we talked about internally, you know, right now our record is 2-3, but I think there's 5 or 6 other teams with similar records. So, you know, the teams at the top, they're going to be hard to bring down. But I think the path to moving up is clearly established by us winning today as opposed to losing.
All right, a good press conference from Tri-State there. And I want to real quickly give my closing thoughts. I know Angel posted on his Instagram, and so did I, about this, but I want to kind of give my overall opinion more in depth here. This was an awesome day, I guess, for me personally, because I like a lot of these guys. There's a lot of former NBA Hall of Famers there for, you know, future ones as well. A bunch of guys that are future NBA. Like Amari's going to be back in the league this year for sure. And it was just a lot of fun. Ice Cube was there, Tech Nine was there, and it was just an awesome day. I never thought in a million years I'd be on a court like that. I'm the MMA guy, you know. But regardless, I still think it was really, really awesome. I don't. It was still really, really weird to be there. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Severely underqualified. However, it was a boatload of fun, and I want to thank the guys over the Big 3. That really allowed us to get those media credentials, allowed us to be courtside, allowed us to attend the post game press conferences, be a part of media row, and all that stuff. Because really, it's not something I would have ever expected. It's not something I deserved. It's not something I longed for. But nonetheless, I got the opportunity, and I think that we made the most of it. I think that we got some good content out of this whole experience. They were very, very accommodating. A lot of they were really open to some of our ideas of, you know, what letting us go there, and because we're not the biggest people there, we're not putting them on our website. We don't really have a website. I mean, we do for our podcast. That's about it. We don't post stuff there. We don't write stuff. We don't have a big YouTube channel. But whenever we applied, we said that, you know, we're gonna make a special edition of the podcast, put up some pictures for the Twitter and Instagram, which recently opened at Courtside Soundoff, and stuff like that, and film a special edition of the podcast. Exactly what we did. Thanks to the guys that were the PR guys there, Michael and Chad are both very, very cool guys to talk to, and very, very accommodating as well. I hope the Big 3 sticks around. This is third season, and it was a lot of fun. I hope they come back to Kansas City again if they, you know, are still around for a fourth season, which I hope they would be. Seems like they're doing pretty good things over there at CBS and them and Ice Cube. I guess that kind of wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of the Courtside Soundoff. This is episode 20. Episode 21 will be coming out this Friday/Saturday. As always, it'll be a normal one. We're going to talk about some stuff with Manny Pacquiao, who got the win last night. San Antonio UFC stuff. And, Angel will probably give his thoughts more on the Big 3, more in depth, and I'll probably talk about it again too. But this is the big edition, the special edition, episode 20, and I am out. Peace and bud grease. Mouse click.